Hey guys, in this video I'm going to give you the general setup for a combination game. It's from the June 2007 LSAT, which I number as prep test 51.5 because it comes right between the numbered prep tests 51 and 52. Now this game is a combination of both sequencing and grouping because we're taking the three films G, H, and L and we're placing them in order on 3 different days, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. However, additionally, we're associating some of these films with each other since some of them are going to go on the same days as each other and others cannot go on the same days as each other. So they tell us in the initial paragraph, in the prompt, that each film will be shown at least once, which means that we're going to have to use all 3 films. But once a film has gone on a day, it cannot go again on that same day. So for example, if we had G on Thursday, we couldn't have G on Thursday again later in that same day. G would not be able to go on Thursday twice, or on Friday twice, or on Saturday twice, etc. Now, they also tell us that at least one film is shown each day, so we're not going to have any days with no films at all. No days will be empty. And so let's take a look at these indented rules here. On Thursday, we have H and no films after it. So if we're building up, bottom meaning earlier on a day, top being later in a day, if H is on Thursday and the last film on that day, we can put H high up and box off this day, meaning that once H goes, this day is finished. For Friday, either G or L, but not both is shown and no film after it. So 2 things here. One is that we could have one of G or L on Friday, and then the other one of those 2 cannot go on Friday. So I'll mark that restriction below the diagram, and I'll also box off that day since once G or L has gone, nothing else will go above it, meaning after it. Same thing for Saturday, only for Saturday we're using G and H. We'll have one of them finishing off Saturday, and then the other one of those 2 will not be able to go on Saturday at all. So there's our straightforward diagramming of the rules as written. However, we can also mark a couple of additional things. One of them is that if only one of G or L can go on Friday, that means that the only other variable that could potentially go on Friday as well would be H. So I'll simply mark H in parentheses below G/L, meaning that H might go earlier than G or L on that day. We don't really know. And for Saturday, if we can only have one of G or H on Saturday, that means that the only other variable that could potentially go on Saturday would be L. So I'll mark that down in parentheses there as well. So this right here is our diagram and setup for the game. Not a whole lot to do in terms of upfront inferences. We'll be doing a lot more work over the course of the game as we get into specific questions. So now that we've done the setup for the game, let's get into the questions, starting with question number 6, which is a typical orientation question, meaning that we're going to want to take one rule or inference at a time and apply that rule or inference to all 5 answer choices, looking for violations. So we can look for, of course, the idea that H will be the last one on Thursday, so let's scan through all 5 choices looking for violations of that. And we see that choice D has L going last on Thursday rather than H. So for that reason, we can eliminate D. Looking for the rule that either G or L will be the last one to go on Friday, let's scan through all 5 choices, or 4 choices remaining, looking for that, and we see that choice E violates this, having H last on Thursday. Now let's look for violations of the rule that G or H is last on Saturday, scanning through the remaining 3 choices A, B, and C. Do we find any matches there? No, it looks like all 3 remaining choices are okay on this issue. Now we can look for the portions of those rules about only one of G or L being on Friday, or only one of G or H being on Saturday. So let's look for let's look for violations of the rule that only one of G or L is on Friday, meaning we should look for having both G and L on Friday. Any violations there? Yes, we do find that in choice B, where we have both G and L on Friday, so B is gone. We can look for both G and H on Saturday, but no violations between A and C. So you might get a little bit frustrated at this point if you feel like we've cycled through all the rules, but we still have 2 choices remaining. Whenever that happens, you should go back to the constraints of the initial prompt and see if any rules or requirements are buried within there. And there are. We find that they tell us that we have to use all three of G, H, and L at some point in the diagram. Let's look for choices where not all three of them are used. We find that choice A violates this idea, this requirement, because it lacks G and we need to include G somewhere in the diagram. So for that reason, A is gone and C is our answer to 6. Next, number 7, a general cannot be true question. So we want to scan through the choices looking for 4 that could work, or we could simply find the one that doesn't work and that'll be our answer. Scanning through the choices, H, the last film on each day. Could that happen? Well, H could be the last film on Thursday, and it could be the last film on Saturday, but it could not be the last film on Friday because the second rule of the game tells us that either G or L has to be the last film on Friday. So A is actually impossible and is our answer for number 7. I will look through the other choices though just to be thorough. L on each day, that could happen. We could have L Thursday before H. We could have L be the last one on Friday. And we could have L go on Saturday before either G or H. Works out fine. B's gone. Looking at C, G second on each day. We could have G on Thursday coming after L but before H. We could have G second on Thursday if there were only 2 on. We could have G second on Friday if there were only 2 on Friday, and we could have G second on Saturday if there were only 2 on Saturday. So for that reason, C is gone. Looking at D, a different film shown first each day. We could have G first Thursday, H first Friday, L first Saturday. Works out fine. So D's gone. Next, E, a different film shown last each day. We could have H last on Thursday. We could have L last on Friday and G last on Saturday. That could work too, so E's gone as well, leaving A. Next, number 8, if L never goes again once G is shown, what's the maximum number of film showings that we could have? So they're saying that all of our L's will have to go before all of our G's. How could this work? Well, there are 2 different ways this could play out. We could have only one G and then have many L's coming before it, or we could have only one L and then many G's coming after it. Those are the 2 different ways we could try to maximize the number of film showings. And so let's try out both of those to see if one of them gives us more than another. So I would draw 2 different new diagrams to represent these 2 different possibilities. On the left diagram, I'll try to put G as late as possible, so that would be the very end of Saturday. So we're going to have H. We're going to have H eliminated from Saturday, and we're going to have L definitely coming before G on that day. We'll definitely want to have H coming on Friday, and of course we're going to want to put L at the end of Friday since we've already used L on Saturday, and we can't have a G coming before L, of course. So we already have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on Thursday, we can put another L yet again simply because it's possible. Nothing is stopping that. So in this diagram on the left, we're able to fit in 6 variables, but no more than 6 because we can't fit in any G's on Thursday or Friday due to the constraint from the question stem, of course. Now, on the other diagram, where we want to put G as early as possible and have only one L, how would that play out? Well, we're not going to want to have L on Saturday since that would prevent us from having any G's coming earlier. And of course, we're going to want to put G on Friday as well, because if we had L on Friday, we wouldn't be able to have any G's coming before it. We're going to want to, of course, take advantage of the option to have H on Friday. And then on Thursday, we could actually have all 3 of H, G, and L. So our L will come extremely early, but we're only going to have one L, and then we'll have many G's coming after it. So in this diagram, we have 3 on Thursday, 2 on Friday, and then only 1 on Saturday, although we don't know whether that one on Saturday will be either G or H. So in the diagram on the left, we have 6, and in the diagram on the right, we also have 6. So whichever way we go, we have 6, and these are the only 2 possibilities given the constraints of the question stem, so our maximum actually is 6, choice D. Next, number 9, if we had 3 G's, 2 H's, and 1 L, what would have to be true? So let's take a look at our diagram, make a new one, and let's draw these restrictions. So 3 G's would mean that we have to have G on all 3 days, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And we're going to, of course, have to cross off the H and the L on Saturday and Friday, respectively, in order to allow us to have G's on those days. Then we'll additionally have a G on Thursday in order to reach 3. Since we have 2 H's but can't have H on Saturday due to G being there, we'll definitely have to have H going on Friday as well. And then we're only going to have one L, but we don't know where that L will be. It certainly can't be on Friday since we have G there. So L will either be on Saturday or L will be on Thursday. And I know I've drawn that L coming before G, but in reality, we don't know which of those is coming first. Either we'll have G and then L if L goes, or we'll have L if it goes on Thursday and then have G there. But not too important. We'll just keep that in mind as we run through the choices here regarding what must be true. So, must we have all 3 on Thursday? Well, we could, but we don't have to because L could go on Saturday instead, and then we'd only have 2 on Thursday, H and G. So for that reason, A is gone. Looking at B, exactly 2 on Saturday doesn't have to happen once again because that L could go on to Thursday, so B is gone. Looking at C, L and H both on Thursday. Again, L could go Thursday, but doesn't have to, could go Saturday instead. So C's gone. Looking at D, G the only film on Saturday, not a must because L could be on Saturday, in which case there'd be 2 there. So D's gone, leaving E by elimination. And if we look at it, both H and G on Friday, of course that is a must. We already knew that from before, even before we got into the whole L ambiguity thing. So if you happen to see that choice, of course, you could have picked it, but there's nothing wrong with having this information here at your disposal just in case you need it, because it's faster to draw out everything and then look rather than draw out a bit, then look a bit, then draw a bit more if you need to, and then look a bit more. Next, number 10. If we had 3 L's, 2 H's, and 1 G, then what could be first? 2 H's is what I'd use to start off here because we already have an H on Thursday, so this tells us exactly the different ways things could go. You could either have an H on Thursday and another H on Friday, or H on Thursday and another H on Saturday. So I would draw 2 different new diagrams representing these 2 different possibilities for the question. So here we have H Thursday, H Friday, or we have H Thursday and then H on Saturday once again. So other constraints we have to deal with, we have to have 3 L's. So L's definitely going to have to go on Saturday in both of these diagrams. We also need to have L on Friday in both of these, so we're not going to have G on either of those days. And then, of course, we're going to have L on Thursday in each of these diagrams as well, since L has to go all 3 days. Then remaining, we have 1 G to deal with. Now, where's that G going to go? In the diagram on the left, G can't go on Friday, so it's going to go on either Thursday or on Saturday. But since we already have 2 H's on Thursday and Friday, and there are exactly 2 H's, we can infer that there's not going to be an H on Saturday, so G is definitely going to be there. In the diagram on the right, we have 3 L's and 2 H's. Where's the remaining G going to go? It can't go on Friday because L's there, and it can't go on Saturday because H is there. So all that's left for G to do is for it to go on Thursday. And we don't know whether it will go before or after the L. It's open-ended, a little bit ambiguous, but those are the 2 ways this can play out. So now that we've done this upfront work, let's get into the choices regarding what could be first to go on Thursday. Well, in the diagram on the left, L is definitely first, so our correct answer will have to include L, and any choice that does not must be eliminated. So for that reason, A is gone, C is gone. Since we know that for a fact, then looking at the diagram on the right, we know that G could also be first as well. So any choice not mentioning G is automatically gone. So B is gone, and then we're down to D and E, but of course H is never first. Only L and G could be first. H is the last on that day, and there is definitely something coming before it on both of those days. So for that reason, E is gone, and D is our answer to 10.